What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for a post game, uh, post day show as we usually do. And I want to say how times have changed, but like actually, not much has changed. But compared to last week's live, a lot has changed. But we're gonna talk about what happened and what didn't happen yesterday. Um, with me to do that is Norbert. How are you doing? Just in general, not Juve related.
Yeah, I'm a little cough here as well. Other than that,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can. I can.
Oh, okay,
Can
sorry.
you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, a little cough here and there. Other than that, I'm all good. And let's talk about this wonderful game.
Yeah, I mean, it was wonderful, but it wasn't. Yeah, man, it's. It, you know what it is. Um, I was watching that game unfold, and I wasn't even like I wasn't even angry, if you know what I mean. Like it hurt to watch, but it wasn't angry, because this has happened so many times now in the last couple of seasons that I'm at a point where I'm actually numb to it a little bit. I still get up for it, but like an hour after the game, I'm like, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Because if we are being completely honest, and now it's time to keep it real, because I personally try to be extremely positive, and not focus on not the negative, but like the negative sides, like the things that are not going well. I was trying to put that to the side, and I was trying to say, you know what, I'm I'm just gonna act like certain things are not happening, but it's done. Like it's time to keep it 100% real now, and we are not improving at all, and we will not improve this season. Like, let's
Yeah,
call
nothing
it that.
changed. Nothing changed. We thought after, especially the first half against Udinese, wow, how good are we? And then against Bologna, we already saw how bad we are. And against Lazio, for some with some miracle, we won. Well, we saw how bad they are. Like so. Like, are we capable of beating these big teams or bigger teams? Not big teams, bigger teams, or no? And the answer is probably probably no. It was a luck, or I don't know. It was horrible, and how the players. Uh, I don't even. Chiesa was the only guy who pushed and ran a lot and tried to win. Um, but yeah, the rest, I don't know. It's bad.
Um, we need to go like chronologically. Um, we okay, like the game, the way it started, the first 10 minutes, I was like, okay, I can see a few things here and there where I'm like, that's nice, Okay, I can see a few things here and there, but after the 10 minutes in, it completely disappeared. And same lineup, but a completely different team out there, if that makes sense. We look like we feel 11 different guys every single week because they do something completely different every single week. And I was like, okay, just grow into the game. We can see we can see an absolutely banter goal. Like I don't even know how to comment on that. Like I don't know how Chesney turned that into a goal because it was extremely difficult to turn that shot into a goal. But he did, and I was like, okay, crazy, but we reacted really quickly. It was 1-1 really quickly, and I was like, okay, game on. And that's where my issue is because we can talk about, oh, it started with Chesney. He messed it up in the first minute. He messed up, but we equalized really quickly. Everything was just square, and you go again. The problem is we didn't go again. That was the
Yeah.
issue. Like we didn't go again. That was the main issue. And I don't know what it is at this point because we can talk about it's player. I don't know. It's a midfielder. It's a defender. It's an attacker. It's this. Is that? Is that? But the main factor in all this, in my opinion, is coaching because we have had different players in these 3 years span. Like we did. We mix it up, and it's still not working. At what point is the club also going to sit back 100% and be like, this is not good enough? Because you can lose games, and I can accept losing games. It's football. Like you win, you lose, fine. I get it. But you cannot lose in that matter against those sort of teams, because that's a poor Sassuolo side. I don't care what people say. They're poor. They don't have a lot of quality in that team. They don't. But
Sassuolo is bad.
they're bad. They're absolutely bad. They're not a good team. And I was sitting back there and I was like, what the hell is happening? What the hell is happening here?
You know what it is? I think they are overtrained. For me, first 5 minutes was like really good pressing, really good. We played really good, and then okay, up to like 10 minutes, it was like okay, and then it was like there was nothing left. It was super weird, but also in the heads, because the whole defense was horrible. Like I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, obviously Gotti's worst game, but also Bremer's worst game, Tech's worst game, and oh my god, it was. I don't know. Also, on that special training on Wednesday, the double training, two players got injured. So I don't know what are these. What are these trainings?
I don't know. R&B comes, you need to chill. Like, we are 6 minutes into the stream. I don't even touch on the players. Like, you need to absolutely chill. Because when I talk about players, you are one of the guys saying, oh, you need to relax and you cannot say this. Because when I speak on Danilo, you come up with Miretti comparisons, and all that random crap basically at that point. So pick and choose. Do you want me to slant the players? Do you want me to get into the players or not? Because I will. And I will start with Chesney because he was terrible. He was absolutely dreadful. He cost us 2.5 goals. Like, it is what it is. Uh, are you gonna say play Purin? Whatever. Fine. Play Purin. I've said it so many times. I couldn't care less. That's not the issue. Okay, yesterday it was the big issue, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not the reason why we're gonna win, yes or no. It's not. So if you want to discuss that at length, fine. I'm not gonna do that because it's a waste of energy. It's a waste of energy. It is. Do you want me to speak about Gatti? Terrible. And I'm being absolutely nice. And also, I don't like what he did after the game. Going straight back in. Man up. You messed up. The game was over. That goal didn't make. Um, I'm. That goal didn't make the difference. We were gonna lose that game anyway. But man up. Go there with the supporters, with your fans. Don't rush in the back into the locker room. Don't do that. You messed up. You go again. If you're a real football player, if you're a good one, if you are one of those guys that are gonna make it next week or on Lecce, you turn up and you play an excellent game. That will show me if you're one of those guys, yes or no. As simple as that. He was terrible. Chesney, terrible. Locatelli, average. Rabiot, non-existent up to the last couple of minutes where he actually popped up with something. Um, I don't know. Like, I can rip this. I can rip the players, and I've done it so many times. But at the end of the day, I've ripped players that are not even at the club anymore, and I'm still ripping players. At one point, I need to sit here, and I've done it, and I'm be like, when are we gonna blame? Or I did it, but when are we gonna look at Allegri and be like, there is no improvement in 3 years' times? You can have Paredes, Di Maria, name the players. There is no improvement because these mental breakdowns, they keep happening. And they will happen again. They will happen again because the mentality in that team stinks. And you know what's crazy? We lost 4-2. And the thing that pissed me off the most was post game. Because in that post game, certain players showed me they should not be at this club. They should not be at this club. They shouldn't. We got embarrassed by Sassuolo 4-2, and you have your captain coming out saying, these things can happen. We will learn from this. And I'm like,
How many times he said that?
if
I
I
think it's
if
like
If
eight
I
times already.
if I will say what I think, the channel will get taken down because that's embarrassing. That dude cannot read the room. That's like a captain should know, even if you're bullshitting in front of the camera, you should know what the fans want to hear. Even if it's complete straight bullshit and you don't believe it. And he is so media trained and it's embarrassing. It's
Yeah.
absolutely embarrassing because you're right. I don't have the time, but I wish I had the time to go back every post game we lost. How many times he said, "We will learn from this." You are not learning from this. You are 33-year old. You have been a bang average footballer. Like it is what it is. He's been an average footballer since he's at the club, and now he's the captain of this club. And some fans want to flex on that. Oh, but he went from a reject to being captain. That's not a flex. That's a big worry sign that he went from a reject to be our captain, quote unquote. That's a worry sign. That's nothing to be proud of at all. And I cannot believe for one bit, like the play, like he can be a good guy, a very good guy in the locker room. I'm not questioning that. But this group is young. They are young. They don't need that. I'm sorry. When if I was a player and I will be sitting back and I'm like, and I hear those quotes, oh, it will do well, losing like this, we will learn from this. I would be like, yeah, no, these players are not idiots, and that guy can absolutely not read the room. Besides the fact that he was horrendous yesterday, like I'll put that to the side, because everybody was bad, So I'm not gonna do that. But man, this is absolutely sad. When I heard those post comments, I was like, I turned on my TV because I had it on. I listened to it and then I'll put it out. I turned it off midway. I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like I'm not listening to you anymore. Like I'm done. I'm absolutely done because
Yeah.
we got embarrassed. No fan wants to hear we will learn from this because every fan knows you're not gonna learn from this. You're not. Like, because you've not proven that you learn from that. You have not the pedigree, in terms of individual performances throughout your career that you will turn it around. You're not that guy. You're not. And that's why I've come on so many times on this channel and said this is a weird thing the club has done because it has been forced upon us. It's not a natural thing. And it feels so unnatural. It feels so robotic. It feels so media trained. It's like he has standard quotes in his mind, and he's like, "We lost. I will go in folder L, pick up those quotes, put it out there. We won. I will go in the folder one." And I'm like, whatever.
He's an Instagram captain. That's what he is. It's weird. Who would you think be a good captain right now from this squad? It's hard. It's
That's a
hard to
good
say.
question. Like if you tell me who needs to be the captain, I don't know. Like I'm not debating that because I don't know. It's the fact that he is being held to a standard that he is a real good captain. He's
Yeah.
not. You know, if he was just a captain and nobody would like, if you know what I mean, like nobody would, I don't say like blink an eye, but it's being pushed so much that I'm like, stop it. Like it's not natural. We can feel it. Just don't do it.
Every week there's a Juve post. Capitano
Every
hearts,
single week.
hearts.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, fine. Like, okay, we're in the mud. Like, we're not playing well. Like, we're all over the place. It's a roller coaster. And that's what you guys want to put out there. I'm like, okay, if you want to give it to Chiesa, like, I'm not in that situation because I know the situation of this club. I get that. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, because that's the situation, ah, it's good. Somebody told me today, oh, but he turned his career around. I'm like, I'm like, what? Like, come on, let's not do this. And I will bring it up because I made a joke and people got triggered. When people talk about Cancelo, oh, he's on his third team. So is Danilo. So is Danilo. And people want to use that argument to bring down Cancelo, but they don't want to use that argument to talk about Danilo because when I bring that up, they're like, "Oh, but he improved." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And what's the standard? Is it so great? No. When I watch Cancelo, it's so great. Like it's
Yeah.
so great, you know. Does he have a rocky relationship with coaches? Yes, fine. I will admit that. Like I never debate that. But if you're telling me, oh, but he's on his third team, stop talking about it. So is Danilo. The flip side is Danilo was riding bench when he joined us. Cancelo not. He was a starter.
Cancelo has output.
And
Danilo,
and you know what it is? It's not even a debate between those two. Like I don't want to bring that up again because it's done. Um, but ability wise, like when we talk about players, people talk, oh, but he has a stupid character, whatever. But nobody, when we compare or when there's a debate about comparing them, nobody talks about ability. Why is that? Why is that? Oh, but he's a good leader. Okay, but is he good? Like, is he good? Is he helping us win? Is he the like? Is he that guy? No, he's not. Like, the moment you need to reach to, oh, but he's a good leader. Oh, but he listens to the coach, and you don't want to talk about abilities. I know you already lost the plot. You lost the debate, and it's kind of pointless to have. But whatever. I bring up Danilo not because we lost the game because of him. That's not the reason, by the way. He wasn't good, but his post game interview is just
it's enough.
it's like it had like it was enough, but now like yesterday it reached like a boiling point because you lost 4-2 against uh, Sassuolo at the end of the day, and you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear Allegri coming out saying, "Oh, but Napoli and Milan and Inter are so much better than us." Have you watched them play? Like somebody need like have you watched them play? Are they? Are they? Because
How
I've
good
not seen
Napoli
it.
is, eh?
I've not seen Milan or Napoli play extremely better than us. Not even Inter at times. And Inter fans will tell you that. They're winning and they will improve. They are the better side. I'm not saying that. But that's not what the fans want to hear. You know? It's, I don't know. It feels like they're lining up a lot of excuses to make when it all falls down again. But we lost. What I do want to ask you is about that midfield yesterday, because we praised it, like we praised Locatelli against Lazio, and he deserved that because he played a very good game. And here comes my issue with him again. And I don't doubt his yes, I don't doubt his ability, but I was watching him yesterday and I was like, no, no, And what pissed me off the most was he takes Miretti off again at halftime. And I'm not saying Miretti deserved to be out there, that he was playing a great game. I'm not debating that. I'm like, why are you taking him off again? And I look at the other twos and I'm like, what have they done better?
Yeah.
What have they done better? I don't think it's fair towards a 19, 20-year-old to be the scapegoat. And again, not saying he was playing an amazing game, Pinetti. He wasn't. But out of the three, he wasn't the worst player. I'll tell you that in that first half. He wasn't. He slipped with that goal with Berardi. He slipped. Okay. But man, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I don't understand. Like that midfield was so bad. The midfield was so bad that at least two had to leave the field. And again, it's Miretti. I don't understand. Locatelli and Rabiot will play forever. Like he will never get subbed
Yeah.
off. I don't understand. Like, come on, this was the perfect opportunity to put something new on the midfield because we were so bad. The midfield was so bad that uh, I don't understand.
You you know what it is? When I like I'm not putting all the blame on Locatelli because there was very little movement, at times yesterday. But I'm like, okay, you're your own person. You're a grown up. Like you know the game. If it's not working, stop forcing it. Change it up. Keep it simple. Whatever. And man, he wasn't good. That's my issue with him. It's a roller coaster of type of performances he has. Like it's all over the place and whatever. Like when people say, "Oh, but talk about Rabiot," I have talked about Rabiot. I've said, "Don't give him a new deal." Like I don't even know what to add anymore on Rabiot. I told him, I said in the summer, do not give him a 1 year deal. Move on. Get
he got
Fratesi at
he
least.
got his money, he got his contract, and now
That's and it's a 1 year deal. And now a year talks about give him a new deal. The club should say, even if Allegri say, no, you're not getting him. We're not doing this because like when I look at Rabiot, do you see 7 million? Does anyone see 7 million? Like you don't see 7 million worth of performances when you watch Rabiot play, and it's crazy. But the the messed up part is, they were not the worst players on the pitch. Like we talked about Chesney, I think that's very obvious that he was extremely bad. Do you want to talk about Chesney? Because I've said if he
uh
plays Perin, I wouldn't blink an eye because it's not gonna save the big picture. So I'm
yeah,
like,
Tech had a game, like a bad game when last year, like it was a year ago. Was it
I think
yeah, a
two
year
years
ago,
ago was it at
2 years ago maybe.
start he was all over the place. The first month and a half he was
Yeah.
wow.
Oh yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah. So come on, like okay, it was a bad game for him. He will. I'm pretty sure he will get over it. And yeah, Perin is a good goalkeeper, but not like starting for us for sure.
I've said it, like if he plays Pirin, I'm like, okay, like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lose sleep on it. I'm not gonna do it. It's not gonna make us win and go on a title charge. That's not the issue. He had a stinky game. If he benches him, he's not gonna bench him. By the way, I will not
Yeah.
get mad. Like it's not that. Like that's
But
not the
come
issue
on,
for
we
me.
didn't even create chances yesterday. Like, come on.
I want to talk
Like,
that. Uh, Also, people, please like the video. I want to say two things. So we will talk about Gotti. But I think I'm not. No, it wasn't with you. I was on with Julian on a podcast, and I said, I opened the podcast. I remember that was the first time I said we are super clinical this season. We still do not create enough chances. We still do not put a lot of pressure on the opposing goalkeepers. Was it Cranio on goal yesterday? Was it Cranio?
yeah,
It was Cranio, right?
I think so. Yeah.
He could have just folded his clothes, put it back for next week because they were clean. He had absolutely no work. He
He,
didn't had any work,
there
and
was that big Vlahovic chance, but he
he
didn't
was
even hit the
offside.
goal.
He should have scored
And he
that.
was offside as well. Yeah.
We will
Yeah.
talk about Vlahovic as well. He was offside. You should have scored that anyway. But we don't put enough pressure on the team. All the good stuff we saw against Udinese in preseason, that completely got was gone. Other than that, it's not consistent. Like it's not clear cut chances,
Yeah.
consistent pressure, and that remains an issue for us. It's so relying on Chiesa, and he was good yesterday. He was
Yeah.
very good yesterday,
Yeah.
but you cannot keep ask Chiesa to make it happen. You just can't. You can't. You cannot do that, and it's it's a worrying thing. Like it's a worrying thing because the things we're saying now, we've been saying for 2 seasons now.
And I don't think people even understand how worrying is it after beating Lazio, because it means that nothing changed. We are unpredictable. Like, when are we going to be good? It's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare. Um, and I don't know, even like I don't see it changing really quickly. I don't. And people, that's what I was talking last season. I'll play Keen, play Milik. It's not a one player. Like the issue is much bigger. The issue is much bigger. It's not, oh, he misses one chance, because I don't like to do that. It's just the big picture is, it looks very flat. It doesn't look like a big team. Um, but
I
we
don't
knew
think it
that.
matters who is on the field. That's the biggest problem.
That's also an
Like,
issue. That is an
yeah, it,
issue.
it doesn't matter who's on the field. It's not like a Liverpool where it's a system and everyone has its place. But like, it doesn't matter who plays. It doesn't really matter. It's super sad.
It is. Something else I want to bring up really quickly. And sorry, people, because the chat is popping off. I cannot bring them on. I'll try to do it at the end. Um, the other weird thing I cannot explain, and people might think it's crazy. I'm gonna say this, and I cannot believe I'm gonna say this. Why did he subbed off McKennie? Because it's crazy what I'm gonna say because people know how I think about him. It's coming from me.
Say it.
He was playing very well. He was
Yes.
playing very well, and
He is really good on that wing. He's really good. I'm sorry. He's really good.
he's
I
really
didn't
good.
want to. He's good.
Like at this moment in time, is it gonna hold up? Personally, I don't think so. But I was watching that yesterday, and he brings in way out, and I'm like, fine, like long term maybe, but in that game, in that moment, I don't think you should have subbed off McKennie.
Mm-mm.
And I thought he was getting in a rhythm, in a flow, even in the first half. I'm like, I don't think this is the right decision. So early. I think it was the 60th minute or something. I was like, this is very early because he was playing well. I was not sure what that was all about because he was causing Sassuolo problems with finding spaces because he's very good in that, in doing that. He is, and I always said that that's his big plus side. The issue is his finishing and like his final ball is not always perfect. But I saw him play yesterday, and I was like, not sure that's a decision you should be making. But he did that. Can you explain why?
No, no. He was just. Oh, I need to make a sub. I need to make a change. Let's pull off McKennie. I don't know. But seriously, McKennie is really good on that wing this year.
Yeah, he's playing
Um,
well. He's playing
yeah,
well. So
yeah,
I don't I don't I don't get it. Now there will be changes against Lecce, but it's not because of the result, it's because we played 2 days ago. Like that's why there's gonna be
yeah.
changes. Another player I see in the chat, Kostic, I think even like forget about Lecce, moving forward, I think he didn't show enough to keep a starting position,
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
because
Cambiasso showed a lot more. Come on.
like I don't know what with Cambiaso happened because he's not playing. Even Junior, he came on and you saw him on the right for like a good 10 minutes. I'm not sure what that
Yeah,
was all about.
yeah.
I was very confused because again, you're not helping these players. Like just play them in their natural position. You're not helping these players, and I'm watching that. I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is very strange. Like,
Also, I think in the last 10 minutes we played 4-3-3 or something. It was.
yeah, yeah, that was the idea. But I cannot believe it's match day 5 and we already lost the game. And it's not even against Inter or Napoli, it's against Sassuolo. And we dropped points against Bologna. And I'm so I'm so confused. I'm like I don't
I
want to
th-
say throw away the season because it's match day
no,
5,
I
but
think the only reason we're gonna make top four is because the other teams are bad as well. That's how I feel it.
I will say it is because there are two difference. My expectation, or like, how do I need to put this? Okay, my expectation personally now is we're gonna scrape top 4, but the expectations I set for this team, a coach on 9 million euros a season, is still pushing. That's not gonna change.
Yeah.
Um, it's up to him to reach that level. Now, my personal expectation, they drop. I'm not R&B comms. I'm not saying throw away the season, but like because of I had something in mind that he needs to do, it's not gonna happen, And it's not, battling for top 4. It's not the season I want to have. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Yeah.
That's why I say throw away because it's a season I will forget again, like for the fourth time in a year, basically, for the fourth season in a row. Excuse me. That's what I'm saying with a throwaway because we're not gonna compete by the looks of it. We're not even gonna keep a fake push at this rate. It's not, and that's why I'm saying like it's a throwaway in my mind that when it's one of those seasons again when it's over I'm like, wow. I still think we're gonna compete. Being out of Europe is huge. Everybody played in Europe. We didn't. We had a
Yeah.
week to prepare. We had a week to prepare to play mid-table Sassuolo, and that's what we put out there. Like you're extremely positive if you think we're gonna do that, and I hope you're right. You know, but call me crazy. I don't believe that when I see what you put out there with 1 week of preparation, because I don't know what they did all week. I have no idea what they did because Vlahovic looked like last year's Vlahovic, frustrated, nothing coming off. Chiesa
Well,
isolated,
I
no
think that.
ideas in midfield, mistakes, mental breakdowns. Like it was just deja vu to last season. Are you still here? Because I see you glitching in and out. You're muted. Yeah, I think you're back now. But you're still glitching in and out. So I'll keep it moving. Um, People, if you have comments or if you have questions or things you want to say them now because now I'll put up the comment section. I'm not gonna scroll back uh, into the start of the chat because that will be kind of crazy. Also, like the video if you're in. The table means nothing at this point in the season. Absolutely nothing. 100% agreeing. But I'm not talking about the table. I'm talking about performances. They mean a lot. You know, Lecce's not gonna finish where they are now. I get that. You know, but the performances, though, those are the things that matter now. You know, not the table. I agree with that. It's only match day 5, but the performances, they are still out there, and I don't like the performances. Um, are they scared to win or to compete, or is it other way around? I mean, they think they're good enough. I'm seriously confused. I don't know. Is this Locatelli's breakout season? I don't know. Uh, I don't know what you mean by breakout, but potential. Jesus. No, by the looks of it, no. As of now, no. As long as
Okay,
Allegri is
sorry.
here,
I had internet issues, but I'm back.
you're back now. Ale, all the critics are all good,
Yeah.
but you need to put up suggestions to improve the team and do well in our opinion. It's tough because okay, the things I want to see are not possible to do now mid season. They're not. I want to change information. I want to change an approach, but that's not possible because of the personnel and because of the coach. You know, it. So
Yeah.
me putting up a solution will be very weird at this moment in time. But if I need to go into Allegri's shoes and I need to stick with a 3-5-2, certain players are not playing, and certain players are gonna play. That's what it is. No, because if I say to you, do you think a team? Do you think our squad? And let me know in the chat, people. Do you think our squad is that poor that they struggle to beat Bologna and lose to Sassuolo? And be honest in the chat. Do you think that? And it's not a one-off because it happened also last season. Do you think it's that poor? Because I want to come on and say I'll play 4-3-3, but I think it's risky to do so
This squad is
mid-season.
not built for that.
That's my
Um,
issue. Like it's not built for
yeah,
that. So it's
yeah,
like the ideas I have are will sound wild with the squad. You know, they will.
yeah,
But as of now, it's more about an idea we put out there on the pitch, rather than
yeah.
individual performances, in my opinion.
Come on, this 3-5-2 should work. Not Allegri's version. With this squad, it should work. It should work. Um, I don't understand. As I see, McKennie is really good. Okay, so he can play as a right wing back. Okay, how long I don't know. Right now he's good. Let him play. And then Cambias on the left. He was so good. Like, come on, it's I don't understand. I really don't.
It feels like we're playing with a handbrake on every single week, you know, because um, Are we that bad, or are other clubs getting better? No, they're not getting better. I will tell
Come
you
on,
that for free.
Napoli played a 0-0 against Bologna.
Yeah, it's also like the teams are not getting better. Like they're. I want to say yes because it will make look us better, but no. I'm sorry, no, they're not. You know. Yeah. Like I want to see certain like I want to see I don't want to see Kostic if you know like and I have nothing personal against Kostic but like you play a different you play a
It's
type of
flat.
football when you have Kostic and Rabiot linking on the left hand side just by their ability you are gonna play a certain type of football a brand of football I don't like and don't want to hear oh you need balance in the squad why do we always need balance and the other teams not why can the other
And
teams play with players who are good in possession, have movement, and why cannot? Why can we do that? Like, can somebody explain that to me?
but did you notice that Kostic is listening to instructions? Because I don't think he had one cross.
No, again, and that's bad for him because that's
Yeah,
that's what he's good at. So if you take that away, I'm not really
yeah.
sure why he's
He
in the
has
squad,
nothing. Yeah,
and I
he
feel
has
bad
nothing.
for him because he's doing what he's asked to do. I get
Yeah.
that, but it's it's like saying to Chiesa, don't take on your player. It's the same thing. Like
Yeah,
don't do it.
yeah,
Then okay, what is he gonna do?
yeah.
Like it's the same thing basically. So I'm so confused. Will we bounce back against Lecce? I'm
Lecce
not.
is too good. I don't know. It's
I'm not
hard.
confident. You should
Yeah.
be Lecce at home. I know they're doing well, but like, come on. Like, if you don't beat Lecce at home or Bologna and you lose to Sassuolo, then what? Like, what are we doing then?
Everyone should ask themselves. If you ask yourself, okay, 5, 6 years ago, we play against Lecce, Sassuolo, whatever. Like it's a easy win. Like, come on. And now the expectations. Oh, maybe we will win. If I don't know, the subs are going to play, and it's we should beat these teams easily.
We should. We need a completely new midfielder, two center backs on the right back, one of. Before we wrap it up, because we're pushing 40 minutes. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like because I will be back live tomorrow. Preview. Uh, it's just I just did a preview, but I'm gonna preview the game, so stay tuned for that. Um, before we wrap it up, the center backs. I've been very honest about it. I said I don't like the center back partnerships. I don't think it's good enough for so many different reasons. I say play Gatti because Alexandro doesn't deserve to play. He has done nothing in those last years to prove you can play. I've said it so many times. I've also said I don't think Gatti is world class. I don't think he has world class potential. I don't think he has the potential to be a starting center back for a great winning Juve side. That's what I said. That doesn't mean I don't rate him. I don't like him at all. I'm just saying I'm not going overboard when I see Gatti play, and that has nothing to do with tonight yesterday's game because that was a shit show. It can happen. It reminded me of Bremer's game against Napoli last season where he was getting cooked. like, I felt bad for him away to Napoli, Bremer. Same thing happened to Gatti today. Pick yourself up and go again. That's all I'm saying. But the center back partnership issue situation is an issue, and we know that. Because they cannot play out with their feet at all. I'm not asking them to be prime Bonucci. I'm not asking them to be that, but they're very clumsy, all of them. Playing out from the back, um, and we need center backs. I saw the Lecce rumors; he's not coming back, and we do not need to bring the Lecce back because we don't have the facilities for that. Norbert is glitching in and out, so I'll pick it up. Dominic is saying we have a captain who isn't good enough to even be in the starting 11 on a regular basis. Yeah, uh, I've said enough about that. The boy we bought, yeah, Gonzalez isn't doing well at some so far. Well, he played his first 4 minutes after 6 games, so it's very tough to do well. Um, we're gonna wrap it up. because I think Norbert is having some technical issues, and we're pushing 40 minutes on a Sunday. I want to thank everybody for joining. Not sure if Norbert is still here, but I will be back live tomorrow to do the preview.
Yeah, it's dead.
Yeah. Um, so join me tomorrow for the preview and the post game reaction on Tuesday. And then I'm not sure how the week will look because it's a different week. I need to see when I can record a podcast with Julian. But the content will keep flowing. Like, subscribe, everybody. And hopefully we can come back next Wednesday when we do the post game live with some positivity again. I really hope so because we need it. Thanks everybody for Nira. Thanks everybody for watching. Like and subscribe on your way out. Thank you Norbert for joining if you can hear me. And we will be back